Renegade, a game about committing acts of terrorism against the religion of peace.
DMCA strike detected.
Congrats, kids. We count as an offensive threat. You know, I've noticed a strange trend with out-of-touch publishers and the older IPs they've acquired. The longer a series has existed, the higher the likelihood the publisher will alienate the fanbase by releasing a new entry that's in a completely different genre. For example, just look at 2013 Syndicate, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, or Dungeon Keeper Mobile. With that in mind, you'd be forgiven for thinking that 2002's Command and Conquer Renegade was a terrible idea. I mean, how could you make an FPS out of a strategy game? How could you capture the vast scale of conflict? Well, despite tight deadlines and a growing dissatisfaction with their corporate overlords, Westwood somehow managed to pull it off. And I think a lot of it has to do with its choice of player character. Renegade has you playing as a shit-talking, ass-blasting GDI commando, Nick Havoc Parker, a sarcastic one-man army with a permanent smirk and a 90s action hero vibe.
Conflict of interest? No. I got interest in conflict.
Through him, the game manages to perfectly capture the sheer destructive force of the commandos from the RTS, right down to their cheesy one-liners.
I've got a present for you. I got a present for you.
I heard he went through some redesigns in pre-production and was originally meant to be this guy, but he's been consigned to a tutorial guide now. Personally, I think that's for the best. I've been playing this game for almost 2 decades now, so I'm going to do something a bit different with this video. I'm going to go through the entire game, mission by mission, on the Commando difficulty, Pro style. Don't worry, the game's not very long, and I'm fairly sure a certain someone can't file for copyright whilst in a maximum security black site. Ah, the first mission. Such childhood memories. A GDI recon team is scouting for a Nod base and gets ambushed. Clearly unable to handle like 3 riflemen by themselves, they decide to call in Havoc to come save the day. Simple enough, just follow the Notice how we have 75 hit points. This is the Commando difficulty, where our total health and armor is much lower, whilst the number of enemies is much higher. Once that armor is depleted, we're basically one hit away from death. We help push back the Nod forces by being the only one who can aim for shit, or are being the only one who actually shoots at all. Watch out for this invincible rocket trooper that spawns. With our health as low as it is, he can and will one-hit us if we stand too close to the APC he's scripted to destroy. Once the ambush is over, hop in the tank and on the way we go. Blow up this Nod harvester that was stupid enough not to retreat, then push on to the Nod base. Our brave Humvee tries to rush the goddamn obelisk of light and gets obliterated. Anyway, we'll start wrecking these Nod units from a distance and... Oh no. I accidentally shot down our airstrike. Don't worry though, the scripted event continues, with the ghost of the Orca crashing into the obelisk. With it gone, we can freely move up and grab these rocket launchers. Take out these SAM sites and that prompts another airstrike, and that also goes wrong. Great.
Prepare for ion cannon strike.
Oh, now we can use the giant space laser. Only cost us like 80 dudes and a couple of $1 million military hardware. Nice work, General Dipshit. So General Dipshit and Havoc talk about secret Nod plans they uncovered, and have a little fight over the fact that GDI is going to take forever building up a strike force. So Havoc steals a hovercraft and heads into the mainland to save the day by himself. Heading up the beach, we find a ruined GDI base, being besieged by 3 or so light Nod infantry. Fucking rushers. Instead of following the GDI troopers, we're gonna head right and grab some sniper ammo from this tower here. Then blow up this van to get some C4. Now we can go save those hostages. Up the road, we find a GDI officer getting wailed on by a bunch of Nod troopers. As thanks for saving him, he'll give us an ion cannon beacon. Sweet. Further down the path, we meet our first Nod officer. Liquidate his brain case and grab the sniper rifle up here. Blow up the turrets and get a free tank. Grab the spare weapons on the beach here before hopping up the road. Hop out and get some more ammo from these barns, maybe save some civilians, you know, regular stuff. Further on, we get our first tank-on-tank battle. Yeah, fuck you, light tank. It drops an armor upgrade. and every little helps, I guess. Unfortunately, the bridge is blocked, so we can't keep taking the tank with us. We kill this officer, grab his keycard, and then take a right to duck behind the waterfall. In here, we encounter Visceroids for the first time. Horrific, Tiberium-induced person soup. Ugh. They're not as gross as TibSun made them out to be, but they're serviceable. Take a tight right round this corner and grab our first flamethrower. Oh look, a Nod harvester. Well, because of our lack of ammo, we can use that beacon here. We'll just put it down here near the edge of the field to avoid us getting hurt too badly by the Tiberium. Next up, there's a church being held by some Nod forces. Officially, we're heading in to save the priests, but in reality, we're just here for that sweet flamethrower ammo they keep stashed away. Why a religious institution would need flamethrowers is beyond me. The next two officers we encounter are in better positions to shred us with their miniguns. Kill them at range and steal their keycards. Down the way we see the Hand of Nod. This is the evilest looking building I've ever seen. It's like if Lex Luthor and Ming the Merciless did interior design for the Illuminati, and we're gonna wreck the place. This is a great time to get used to the flamethrower, as we can stun lock whole groups of filthy Nod terrorists. Heading down to the basement, we'll save some civilians from joining Nod. You okay there, dude? You gonna react at all? Okay then. Further into this area, we find an indoor training facility, where some troopers are fighting out in a mock battle. In fact, our HUD doesn't even recognize them as Nod forces yet, and they happily ignore me to keep fighting each other. This whole scene puts our murder spree into a dark light. Have we been gunning down hapless civilians who are unlucky enough to be conscripted?
They're Charlie as far as we're concerned.
Have the fires of war consumed innocence itself? Ethical dilemmas aside, steal all the ammo from the armory and then head back up to the back of the building. Shoot some technicians and then blow up the master control terminal. Back outside the Hand of Nod, we waste the world's drunkest buggy driver and head on upwards towards the re-education camp. The communications center here jams our radar, meaning we won't be able to cheese out some of the encounters with it. Just repeat the same process as before. Storm the place, kill the people, blow up the building. Now we just head outside to finish off the free those poor civilians. Havoc knowingly nods at some POWs, and then gets arrested.
What kept you?
After some time cooling off, General Dipshit and Havoc have a chat about some kidnapped scientists. Dr. Mobius, his daughter Sydney, and their co-worker, Dr. Petrova. They've been taken by the secretive Black Hand, led by a dwarf in a Nazi costume, and Havoc's mercenary ex-girlfriend. This level is one of the longest in the game, and in my opinion, one of the most grueling. Then again, you do get to drive almost every vehicle in the game. And that's just fucking awesome. There's a cool set piece towards the end of the level where you have to cross a dam that's being protected by an obelisk. The easiest way to do this is to simply head deeper into the dam and blow up the Nod power plant powering it. This is also roughly where the game takes off the gloves and starts spawning swarms of enemies for you to deal with.
Fuck that.
Heading inside, we find a couple of health and armor upgrades. Great. This is also the first place where we meet these Mysterio-looking brotherfuckers. With a little bit of luck, we might be able to score a chem sprayer off one of them.
Nice.
Once we've gotten into the base, we'll have to raid another Hand of Nod. Time to test that chemical sprayer. Whoops. Killed the chef. Well, that's what he gets for standing in the way of my freedom gas! Down in the basement, we find a GDI ion cannon beacon. How did that get down here? So up to the roof we go. Up here, Havoc finds the scientists are already being evacuated. He then gawks at his ex for a bit and takes a shot at Mendoza. Oops. Triggering a mini-boss fight.
I don't think you have what it takes, soldier boy!
After blasting Mendoza's ass, he runs away like a little bitch. Way to blue ball me, asshole. I'll just take out my rage on this Nod base. Murder boner subsided. Havoc then sneaks aboard a cargo plane, gets into a bit of a fight with Sakura, and then takes off in pursuit of the missing scientists. Sakura pursues him in her cutting-edge, high-tech She shoots down Havoc's cargo plane, forcing the commando to bail out onto a tropical island that was somehow only 10 seconds flight away from that snowy hellscape we were just in. Yeah, don't worry about it. Landing on the beach, we find the island is already being besieged by a GDI gunboat. We fight our way up the beach, kill some NOD officers, and blow up a turret on our way past. Moving along, we're forced to take some damage in this Tiberium field. I'm fairly certain that's a game design sin, and then walk out into one of the toughest fights so far. A group of relatively hidden officers will call for endless reinforcements into this area. Blowing up both of the SAM sites here will score us a supply drop, which is also accompanied by 7 million NOD troopers. We could have taken the secret path out the back, but Next up, this gross overcompensation is a shore defense cannon, and it's harassing our boat. We'll just blow up these SAM sites defending it, and air support will take care of the rest. Now we're getting close to the NOD base, so we'll head down to the secret bay entrance. Once inside the base, we'll make a beeline for the refinery, where we'll find the green keycard. Unfortunately, the doors into the refinery require a yellow keycard, so we'll come back later. Raid the comm center, shit-talk KANE some more,
Codename Havoc. Cliché.
and meet one of the worst enemies in the game, roof turrets. These fuckers have a high DPS, a tiny hitbox, and vehicle type armor. Fuck them with extreme prejudice. Deeper into the comm center, we find the objective mainframe. Download the logs, delete the officer, and scratch one comm center. Outside, the base is now crawling with NOD troopers, and Sakura has shown up to start hounding us in her heli again. Running back over to the refinery, now we're gonna raid this bitch. We're mostly just here to score some sweet Chemfire ammo, totally worth the intentional Tiberium poisoning. Just one building left, the power plant. A simple walk across, right? Fuck, 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 fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and fuck you. Now we can toast the power plant and head on up to kill Heli bitch. She can't hit us from up here, so we'll just wail on her with rockets. Wait, are they going through her? Fuck! Once we've beaten her, the helicopter crash will trigger a volcano explosion. Fine. General dipshit wants us to steal a sub, but we're gonna need to get the hell out of this base first without dying. On our way out, let's just pop this sniper while we have a good angle on him. That'll save us a high caliber headache later. Grab some minigun ammo and mop up the last NOD troops between here and the sub. And there we have it. One sub acquired. The sub has docked onto a NOD cargo carrier and has unloaded the prisoners.
It's one of those new subs. Impressive. Are they armed?
This one is.
Havoc breaks out and sets off to save the prisoners and sabotage the ship while he's at it. Now if only we had some sort of shotgun. Hey, wait a second. Some of these NOD forces have shotguns. Why can't we have one? Well, it turns out they cut the shotgun from singleplayer. It's usable in multiplayer mode, but we'll get to that later. Instead, we'll just make extensive use of the chemical thrower. Eat war crimes, nerds! So we're just happily sabotaging some rocket racks and breaking some engine systems when we run into our first Tiberium initiate. You are one ugly motherfucker. Next up, we run into two technicians.
Just be careful of direct exposure.
One of which is too busy tying his shoes to fight me. Well, no witness. Oh, fuck! Up in the medical bay, we waste a NOD trooper and his doctor to steal their keycard. Technically, we should now head down to save the hostages, but instead we'll just head up to the bridge. Ample application of chemical weapons will clean up this mess and...
Hello, motherfucker.
Shit. This encounter is actually pretty cool. The lower floor is full of chemical troopers, but the upper floor is full of flame troopers, including the first mate. So we'll take the yellow key from the melted corpse of the first mate and head on back down to the prisoner.
You're going up against the whole crew by yourself?
Don't seem fair, does it? Maybe I'll shoot left-handed.
Well, time to go across the ship to get the captain's key. Fuck this Apache. Killing it now before it can take off means it won't hound us on the bridge. Now we just snipe some Black Hand troopers and sabotage some torpedo racks, before continuing up to the bridge. Things can get pretty tough here in some places.
Some folks are born made
So we kill a ton more Black Hand and another chef. He must have pissed off the Union or something. And we find the captain surrounded by chemical troopers. And I'm short of flame ammo. I guess I'll try this grenade launcher they gave me and... Oh man, that's bad. You see, games like Quake have bouncing grenades that make them tactically useful, whilst other games that have direct impact will make them more powerful to compensate. This has neither. Grenades sometimes bounce, but sometimes they don't. And they have almost zero splash damage. Short of a direct hit, you'll barely scratch people. Ah well, we've got a boat to blow up. With the captain's keycard in hand, we'll return back to the prisoners in the sub bay.
Group up! Time to go!
I'm sure all those Tiberium canisters that are now at the bottom of the sea won't have any lasting ecological effect.
May God have mercy on our souls.
Back from our little boat trip, General Dipshit tells us that the scientists are being held in the Black Hand's super secret mansion. To assist us in this job, Dipshit has sent out for our former Spec Ops team, the Dead Six. Although there's only 4 of them since Sakura and Havoc have left. He sends them aboard a helicopter into unexplored territory. This goes as terribly as expected.
Gunner, come in.
Havoc is sent in to rescue his team and also gets shot down. Great. This mission opens with action from the get-go. 2 flame troopers running at you, a rocket officer on the balcony, and waves of officers parachuting down whenever you progress. Not to mention a fucking tank being heli-dropped in. Nope. So we break out Hotwire and continue on. I am the god of hellfire! Fucking flame tanks. We fight for a bit more in a town square before meeting Gunner.
I'll be watching for you.
Crossing this bridge here is brutal. A turret, no less than 4 flame troopers, a tank across the way, and a rocket launcher hidden behind you. Fuck. Well, at least that's over with. Fuck! Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys. We come across some resistance forces who want to raid that crashed heli for supplies. Having some extra firepower never hurts. Sorry, I just had to let that all just play out. It was just such an awesome encounter. The Resistance then asks us to help slow down the construction of an obelisk, and all we have to do is snipe some engineers. This scores us another armor boost. Neat. He ain't looking so great, dude. Well, rip him. At least he managed to smuggle out a weapon prototype. A fucking personal ion cannon. Oh, baby. We'll try out this beaut later.
Help me! Oh, please, help me!
Hark! What's this thine ears doth hear? A plea for help? I shall...
Oh, it's an ambush. Well, squish time. Saving Deadeye costs us our light tank, so I get a chance to use the personal ion cannon now. It's, powerful. Oh, sweet! We're not gonna check in just yet, we've got a hostage to save first. The Black Hand are pissed for some reason, so they mount a counteroffensive.
Delete them for their insolence.
And that's it, mission complete. Havoc leaves the Dead Six behind to continue on with his mission alone.
I'll join you, Captain.
No.
This is one of the shortest levels in the game. It does have an alarm system, which means forces on the map will actively hunt you. The fools. That just makes it easier for me to kill them. Heading upstairs, we'll grab a laser rifle from the secret. I remember the first time I saw this as a kid and thought, wow, that just looks so cool. Up in the roof space, we kill a couple of officers and grab the red keycard. Now down to the basement we go. 8 chemical troopers tried to harass us, and they each get to eat lasers. Just look at how fast this thing is at melting ceiling turrets. In the basement lab, we find the scientists, but get stuck up by Sakura. After a brief fight, Midget Hitler walks in and straight up pulls a Megatron.
You failed me for the last time, Sakura. Touch them both.
So the whole place is on fire and exploding. Havoc manages to escape with Sydney and then make a break for the helipad. After arriving just too late to save Dr. Mobius, Mendoza challenges Havoc to a 1v1. Wow, what a bitch. And that's level set. Oh, come on. 1 star because I missed the secondary objective. Fuck. Oh boy, I love recycled maps. This is by far the dullest mission in the game. After dragging Retard Squad away from the world's smallest nuclear blast, Hotwire decides to hack some SAM sites for no reason other than just getting in harm's way. So the Dead Six start to evacuate, off to be never relevant to the plot ever again. But, of course, it's not that simple. The Resistance begs us to stop Nod from napalming the city. I don't know, lady, I'd be more worried about escaping the nuclear fallout right now. Oh, okay, that's terrifying. So we must fight our way alone, all the way back to the obelisk. I'm sure that'll be engaging. It's not that this level is bad, it's just dull. Halfway through we managed to snag a Nod nuclear beacon but have no use for it. And a short while after that, Dead Six start dropping free light tanks for us like a divorced parent trying to buy their child's love. Once we finally reach the obelisk, it's somehow operational despite us killing all those engineers. Oh look, a stealth tank! Now it's dead. That was a disappointment. Finally we need to destroy these launchers. Yeah, this should be a safe enough distance. The sky goes red and... So Sydney pulls some Star Trek level technobabble about radiation signatures and power armor, and winds up getting us captured. Good job. Although that might be Dipshit's fault for dropping us in front of an active Nod prison camp. Nice going. Conveniently, Sakura breaks us out, so let me just get out of my— Oh god, where are all our weapons? What happened to our health? Forced stripping of weapons and upgrades? I'm pretty certain that's a game dev sin. Apart from that, this level's pretty straightforward. Breaking out of the prison camp is made all the easier thanks to all these weapon lockers and GDI prisoners around. Speaking of prisoners, they have this really amusing bug. It looks like someone screwed up their voice lines because when you free them they use random Nod voices.
I have you now!
Okay dude. After looting the entire camp for supplies, we head out to save Sydney. Ooh, a light tank. Sweet. Wait, the loading screen told me to use high roads. Maybe I should stay on foot.
Welcome to the rice fields, motherfucker.
No, fuck that. I'm getting back in the tank. Oh neat, the research labs looks like the one from the RTS. Inside, we get to see a flame tank practice instant transmission. We have to ditch the tank to go further in, but that's okay. Oh look, a stealth tank. Eat chemical weapons. We'll just break this console and head further down. Welcome to the meat of this level, the labs. No witnesses. Some officers will try and run you over with the world's slowest moving truck. We snag another light tank, and boy do we want it. There's lots of APCs to destroy. In this little side room we can pick up the Tiberium auto rifle. This thing's kind of OP. Heading further in, we encounter our first acolyte. These cyborgs are armed with Tiberium auto rifles, and they're just as OP in their hands. Remedy this with liberal applications of fire. I see you there. KANE shows up to talk shit again. No witnesses. No witnesses. We encounter a couple of stealth troopers, and I'm pretty certain they were voiced by Billy Harrington. Blowing up a couple of side panels in these rooms completes the secondary objectives, and then we head down to save our scientists. In a twist nobody saw coming, Petrova is actually working for Nod, and she's turned Mini Hitler into an Uber soldat from Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Now this boss fight is less shit than the Mendoza one at least. He can move, fight, and hits hard, and will throw you around if he grabs you, but a couple of iron cannon blasts will still obliterate him. Just pepper him a bit with a minigun, and he's dead. Oh boy, another recycled map. Havoc and Mobius have to fight their way back up through the labs to the surface.
A marvel of modern science. What a rare advantage for studying the effects of Tiberium.
Mobius might have some screws loose. He's completely useless in a fight until you find his power armor. Then he is still completely useless. He does get a bigger laser rifle though. Man, I wish I could have that. We head out to find the base in total disarray. How did this happen? Did we do this? I don't remember mutants escaping when I entered. The sheer number of mutants means we can't rely on the chemical thrower anymore. But the mutants and troopers are the least of your concerns. The level is full of ceiling turrets, and Mobius will happily run out into their line of fire just for the hell of it. Deeper into the labs we find a side room with some mutants and turrets, but more importantly, the laser chain gun. This crimson drill dough shreds through just about everything. Its damage is a little low, but with the rate of fire that high, it hardly matters. Mobius again tries to commit suicide by Cyborg, so the extra firepower is great for saving him. Finally, we're outside. And look! It's the annual Nod Officer Convention. Oh my god, just look how many there are. Fuck, Mobius, no, shit! Let's try that again. No witnesses. And with that, we're down one Mobius, but we save the other.
Dr. Petrova is attempting to create genetically enhanced super soldiers.
No shit, Mobius. So in order to save Sydney, we're gonna have to raid the Temple of Nod in Cairo. First things first, we'll grab some extra supplies from around here before moving up and supporting Mammoth Tank. This map is a hellscape of stuff that will kill you in one hit.
Get fucked.
Nod officers have upgraded to laser chain guns, rocket troopers dot the horizon, and helicopters drop a steady supply of stealth tanks. On the plus side, we do get to wipe out an entire Nod base, starting with this Hand of Nod. We managed to snag the yellow key here, which is helpful, and the armory has 2 extra laser chain guns. Moving up, we raid a refinery. This harvester's having a hard time pulling in. Killing a stealth trooper inside scores us the green key card, which we'll need to open the gates. Behind the refinery is a small research station, with a couple of stealth troopers and scientists. No witnesses. This joke is getting old. With the gate open, we can bring that Mammoth Tank up to face the obelisk. The next gate is still locked, so we'll have to head deeper into the ruins to find the key. That's a UFO, and it's locked with a red key door. This courtyard is brutal. But as we leave, we get to see a construction yard. Oh, I've looked forward to this. Just gonna pop this airfield and then head up to the yard, grab some health and armor to be ready, and this is really disappointing. There's lots of ceiling guns, but not a lot else. A stealth trooper is meant to spawn somewhere with a red key card, but I can't find him. I looked all over, he just didn't spawn. This is annoying since that UFO holds one of the cooler weapons. Moving onward to the Nod power plant and comm center, both are screwing with our space laser, so we're gonna have to fix that. The power plant is full of Nod officers and flame troopers, so living on sub 30 HP is common. Inside the comm center, we narrowly dodge rocket death and then meet a silent KANE. What? Got no snark this time? And now what we've got to do is plant that beacon. I feel like we're forgetting something. Oh right, Sydney. I'm sure she'd survive that. I mean, KANE does, and that fucker T-posed right into the beam.
Dr. Petrova is hiding in a bunker beneath the temple.
Huh, I guess we're going in. This is the final level, and it doesn't fuck around. The first room is full of endlessly spawning Black Hand troopers, most of which with one-hit weapons, laser ceiling turrets, and almost no cover. As we battle our way through, KANE berates his men for being unable to deal with us. Yeah, well, sucks to be you, we have the power of quick save. Jumping down this huge crack in the ground, we find a hacker den and another KANE hologram.
You're still alive?
I'm skipping over like 20 deaths. Further down, we find a museum to Nod.
Parameters. All systems warning at normal functioning.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. What the fuck is that? That trooper has the Volt Rifle, the secret weapon we missed inside the UFO. Here we also meet the Templars. They're better armored versions of the Acolyte. We'll just cheese them out with a pistol. Now we raid KANE's bedroom. Why does he have a camera aimed at the bed? Grab the keycard and get our first dose of the Volt Rifle. Pushing on, we find the personal quarters for the scientists based here. Lots of cool loot to steal, plenty of ammo. Sure are a lot of mutants walking around.
Thirsty.
Oh sweet, a new weapon! Yeah, the fléché rifle is cool, however we only get one magazine of it, and most of the enemies we'll be facing are immune, if not outright healed by Tiberium damage. Would have been cool if we got it earlier, but now it's just kind of useless. Onwards, to one of the hardest fights in the game, the Templar Arena. Fuck, that was rough. Well, down to the basement we go. Things can't get any worse, right? Well, this mysterious place is filled with mutants and green mist. I'm pretty sure this isn't good for my skin. Uh-oh. Well, it seems the Stealth Black Hand don't like mutants either. Fucking racists. The spiral staircase of this area, plus the Stealth Trooper's invisibility, makes this a difficult fight up. Up on top, we find Petrova doing evil science stuff. We'll just waste her back up before this fight begins, and boss fight time. Petrova is stealthed, heavily armored, and wields a Tib auto rifle. Not immune to lasers though, bitch! KANE is pretty pissed that we killed his She-Hulk cosplayer, so he starts a nuclear launch. Nuh-uh, asshole. You can't explode that missile if,
Activate nuclear missile.
we do it first. We're in the final stretch now. Escorting Sydney through the Nod base is infinitely easier than her father. Mostly because she isn't brain dead. After everything the game's thrown at us so far, this is a cathartic walk in the park. Sydney reaches the missile controls, and...
Mission accomplished.
That was Renegade single player. Now, I would show you the multiplayer, as I heard it was pretty great. However, it uses Westwood Online and GameSpy, and both of those have been dead for years. So I guess I won't be able to show you that. What do you mean there was a fan-made remake? Renegade X? Oh, that's gonna have to be another video. Thanks a lot for watching. If you liked this longer form video, be sure to, do all the regular YouTube shit, leave a comment, tell me you liked it. Look at all these credits, they're people, they're cool. Look, there's Kiwi. Why is Kiwi here? It's better not to ask that question.